Welcome back, guys, to Apollo Justice, as we now head into the latter half of our trial, having Daryan Crescent touch the stand to give us his testimony. Now that our witness, our suspect, is in position, it's up to us to prove it, with new evidence having just been delivered to us by a certain Phoenix Wright. Unsure about the veracity of it, we have firecrackers that can be used, of course, to simulate the sound of gunshots. In the same place where we found ourselves an igniter. What can we examine on them? So, you think this was some kind of firecracker? Yeah, one of those noisemakers like you shoot off on New Year's. Do you know that in China, they use firecrackers on New Year's to scare off evil? So it's kind of the same thing. Really? I had no idea! Did you know this? It takes more than 500 peanuts to make one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter! At least my useless fact has something to do with the evidence. Indeed it did. Well, now that we have it, can we believe it's absolutely truthful evidence? We continue on as we're looking for the igniter of Daryan Crescent, because conventional methods are out of the window. That's for sure. Here goes nothing. Let's get that testimony we were waiting for. So, Daryan, rebut me. The diva's lying, plain simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots, as if. Did Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the first set anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. When I was on stage, man. So you claim Lamela's testimony was a lie? Yay, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just because she's blind. You go too far, Daryan. Look, all I'm saying is, you've got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective? Detective Sky? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. He didn't waste any time finding our weak spot. I can't do this with Lamela's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Well, the fact that she missed lyrics is a very strong one, surely. But then it's all on her word. Her word. Which we have to prove outside of her word. Diva's lying, plain simple. She's gonna have to back up her story. You don't have any proof she was lying. Oh yeah, kid? You saying I lied? No, I'm just saying, Apollo, glare back at him! I couldn't help it, I flinched by reflex. Detective Crescent. Yeah, what do you want? Nothing. Apollo, chin up, back straight, you're wilting. This guy's hard as nails. He makes Woggy look downright cooperative. Look, there's no way the diva remembers my voice. In the first place, she never heard my voice. I think she did. She did it later on as well. You never talked to her, even though you were playing in the same concert? Not a word, as far as I can recall. But weren't there planning sessions or something? Gavin took care of all that himself. Daryan wasn't involved in any of the meetings with her. As if you can just go around remembering everyone's voice like that anyway. Only an idiot would believe that. Lamela's hearing is very sensitive. She could remember him if she heard him, I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it. I need proof. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. Did Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the first set anyway? That's going to be our statement. But I really should present that. Most people would be startled. We know she missed the words. The mixing board proved it. Oh yeah? It was a mistake. But blaming it on gunshots is just a lame excuse. What do you mean? The mixing board proves what? Proves there was a mistake in the song. A miscue. So she just flubbed it up big time. That's all. She spins the story about a gunshot to protect the kid. Cover for her own goof. Man, I'd have to hand it to her. She wasn't sticking it to me at the same time. Daryan, watch what you say. Lamela is an artist. She just flubbed it up? That's no small accusation for a performer of her caliber. Ha! She got to you alright. I can see it in your eyes. I tell you, most of the stuff is so pretentious it's way over my head. Detecting a rift in the Gaviner's ranks. Anyway, she's too close to the defendant. Her testimony can't be trusted. You ask me, I'd go with Detective Sky's story at the drop of a pick. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? This is our real statement, isn't it? Actually, I was there too. So I hear. Which means you heard them too, right? The gunshots. Yes. We heard gunshots. Neither I nor Emma actually saw the shooting, mind you. Ha! I guess you and Lamurai got the same excuse then. We know one thing for certain here. There were gunshot-like sounds that emanated from that room during the third set. What we must determine is whether those sounds were actually gunshots. Machi heard them too. Remember he said he ran for the air duct when he heard them? So, how do we figure out just what those gunshots during the third set were? The shooting took place when I was on the stage, man. Right. This is our point here. And we've just got evidence, so we say evidence. Hopefully Emma really did look over these. That says there was another reason for the noise at that time that we heard. With a trigger. From there, can we push forward? Objection! Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's a remote triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? The remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this? What? You think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning, before coming here. Then we know it's, like, completely truthful evidence. Right, Phoenix, thank you for not presenting me anything forged. That's when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Daryan as a witness in today's trial. Just in case. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set could have been two firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control. You got an active imagination, don't ya? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a little too convenient to me. How so? So you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off? Right when two witnesses came walking by? Ha! That's right! Daryan was out on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then? If a firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear it. You get my drift. Why go through the trouble, man? Ah! How do I explain this? You may not look it, but Daryan is a gifted detective. Show any weakness, and he's sure to find it. You may not look it, partner? Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself, and I saw something odd there just before the first set. Something odd? A headset. The kind all of the band and staff members were wearing. That's right! We picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if that headset wasn't dropped, but placed? And what if it was turned on? Oh, Clavier's gone full in. Again. I mean, this is stuff that I should be saying. This is prosecution playing defense again. Or more to the point, prosecution playing purely for the truth. He does not care about friendship. He only cares about justice. This man is one to be kissed on the lips. I mean, wait, sorry. But he's just so sexy. Oh my god. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's rare to have a purely true person on the other side of a bench in this game. I mean, we've got my Edgeworth, I guess, but still. Clavier has done no wrong. Ever, it seems. Just the truth. He is a pure being. You could hear what was going on that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Ha! Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Daryan. There are no sides in the court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Hair Forehead. I have a question for you. Huh? For me? The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix and you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real or fake. We can't say. Ah. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the first set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell him. He wants you to prove the thing went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on stage. That right, Gavin? Indeed. You can't prove that. And to continue this cross-examination would be pointless.
Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set?
Yeah, I think. You better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through. It can be proven. You make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you.
Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness your testimony if you would.
This isn't going to be easy. I need some decisive proof and fast. Ha! You ready, kid? Because I am. You shouldn't have place during the second set. If you're so sure, let's see your proof. We're coming up straight to that. Let's press this statement again. The gunshots heard during the third set could have been... what? Some kind of setup? I've heard that one before. Ah. We need proof, Apollo. We need to prove that the shooting took place during the second set. Well, if you know how to do that, I'm all ears. Maybe the gunshots are the key after all. What do you mean? Well, Lemuel said she heard them, right? Right in the middle of her illusion, when she was up above the ceiling. When she forgot the words to the song, yeah. If you can prove the gun was shot right when she missed those lyrics, we're home free, I'd think. True. Not easy, but true. Is there some way to prove that? Let's take a look through our evidence. Maybe there's something in there. Hey, aren't you supposed to be cross-examining me?
Try to refrain from private discussions during cross-examination, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor. Sorry. Just let me take a quick look through the court record. He's pretty eager to paint Lamar as a liar, isn't he? Yeah, because her testimony is basically our entire case. This is tough. So what do we do? I've got a few ideas. I just need to find another way to prove it didn't happen when he says it did. Right, let's head to that statement again. Because that's the one we're presenting to. It's also the one that basically begs us to present. It's the second gun... It's... Well, not the second gunshot. It's the gunshot that we need. The only thing that could have captured it and recently was used is the mixing board. Now we're on the guitar serenade. Before we had... It is definitely the mixing board then. Right. Turn off the music, because of course track 1's vocals. What does that sound like to you? Right, mixing board, present. Thank you for changing the track there, Clavier. It seems there was clear proof left behind. Right here, Lamara's song. Her song?
What exactly is this, device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps?
Come on, we just used this. Don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part.
Part?
You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately, Lamara's voice included.
Ho-ho! But what does this prove?
According to Lamara's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words to the song. Ah, you intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? We might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Ha! Ridiculous. Sweating much? How were you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room and on stage? Have you forgotten, Daryan? We were all wearing these headsets. Oh. We were all deeply involved in our performance. But Lamara's headset would have picked up what she heard all the same.
Let's get to analysing that recording. Right now!
Lamara stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot, and I'll find the gunshots. Essentially, with most sound files, even if you can't hear something like actually on the track by the human ear, if you turn the track up, you can hear things that you couldn't possibly think you was hearing before. I mean, I don't know how, for example, often when this thing goes silent, you hear me moving in the chair, the creak of my chair slightly. Might hear my headphones make creak noises while they move around on my head. Stuff like that. Of course, noises from the mouth is something everyone with a microphone has to deal with in some respects or something like that, right? Turn it up and you can usually pick up things that have happened far outside your scope, like police sirens that are outside on roads that are a while away. Stuff like that. Of course, Nino Kuni, I had the time of my cat being sick behind me, which I actually had to edit out of a video because you could hear it. It was nasty. But you can always find little things like that hidden away. So with that said, locate the gunshot. We know exactly where it is. Turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Turn it down. Part 2. So I'm presenting this at this point. That's pretty much what it is. Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is the track with Lamira's vocals. Masked by the music.
I did hear something faintly there, yes. Why, it sounded like a gunshot.
What? This is to be some kind of mistake. Yep, it's gone floppy. I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set, which means Lamira's testimony was true. Ah!
Order! So, she was telling the truth about what she heard?
It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche.
Well, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch now. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire. Detective Crescend, you went on stage during the second set. You could have done it.
But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Weren't 2 bullets fired from this weapon?
Lamira was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must not have been close enough for her mic to catch the first shot. But then, as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again, and Mr. Latouche's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescend? Once again I'm reminded of something. Our performance that day.
Your performance?
Seeing the mixing board jogged my memory. You were there too, Hair Forehead. What was it with today?
Problem after problem. Tongue!
My hug won't start, my guitar case is busted. My guitar's been burnt to a crisp, and to top it all off, someone's dead. And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? That part is off. Which is that? Second guitar. It was you, Daryan. I thought it strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that. Yeah, well,
You what? And Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at?
I'm talking about the murder weapon, Mr. Latouche's .45 caliber hand cannon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscarred with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur. Wait, you mean his playing was effective because he heard himself shooting that revolver? Ha! You're forgetting something.
Yes, Detective Crescend.
I'm a trained police officer, you know. I've had firearms training, plenty of it. I'm no amateur. The standard sidearm issued to police officers is a .38 caliber weapon. A much tamer beast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Latouche, which suggests there was a struggle between killer and victim.
So, the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired. Is that what you mean?
The thought had occurred to me, yes. Hence the missed shot? Haha.
Well, does the witness have anything to say to this?
I love it when both people gang up on the bad guy.
Detective Crescend!
What I want to ask is what Mr. Sleeves rolled up ready for action has to say. Hey you, attorney. Me? Exactly which piece of your evidence is decisive again? You got a little noise on a tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar cue missed due to a .45 caliber kickback. I weep for this case, Gavin, I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager. And that's the obvious truth.
The witness had a point. The defense's arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescend. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it.
The proof of innocence is yet to come. Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy, I got no motive, man. Motive? We know what really this case was about. I've got perfect motive. Was that Diva's first trip to this country, right? How could I possibly know her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him?
A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. Latouche had not been to our country before?
According to our records, yes. Not even once.
I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
Great. Now I need to find a motive. Well, that's the easiest thing in the world. Easiest thing in the world. Come on, why do I even want to kill that manager? A manager? Sure. But Mr. Latouche was new, an Interpol agent. Alright, sorry. An Interpol agent, wasn't he? I just have trouble picturing that big lunk as an undercover cop, you dig? Not a very good one, seeing as how he got wasted. Why are you gloating? This is not normal for a cop to do about a murder victim. But this is a crazy world. That's cold, dog. Not that it matters either way. See, I had no reason to kill the man. Whatever he was. You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. Got no motive? Whatever. But that's the same for Machi. No motive was proven for him. Come on, he travelled around the world with that old fart. He had plenty of time to come up with a motive of his own. Ah, more than I sure did. I mean, think about it. This was that Diva's first trip to this country, right? Daryan, you're a detective of international affairs? Yeah, what of it? Even if this was Mr. Latouche's first trip to this country, you still could have met him prior to the concert. Huh? Or don't you take any international trips in international affairs?
That's right. Well, Detective Crescend.
That's your game, is it? Guess I better confess then.
Confess?
Yeah, it's a bit of an embarrassment, but I've never been sent overseas. What? But you're an international... See, me and Plate's got a difference of opinion. We don't like each other much. My condolences, Herr Forehead, but he's telling the truth. He's never set foot outside the country, I can guarantee it. As it turns out, my division has plenty of work to do locally as well. That's so unfair. How could I possibly know her manager? Okay then, let's go with that, but... If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Well, I know... Oh, I pressed press. I didn't mean to press press. Let's skip this quickly. I know what the answer is. I know what the motive is, and I think this is just really to go... This is motive. Why did you kill an Interpol agent who was here most likely looking over a certain something? A case of what may have been smuggling of something known as a Borginian cocoon. I can see where this links off from here, but this is definitely what we're doing. We're proving motive by saying goal. Objection! Your Honor, take a look at this.
What's that? Looks like candy.
It's not. Don't lick it, please. Detective Crescend, ever seen this? Looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings.
A cocoon? Never seen one that color.
It is a variety only found in the Republic of Borginia. Nowhere else.
Alright, but what is this cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with a motive for killing Mr. Latouche. Does it?
It does. Wait, I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man.
A cocoon. Is it one of those silky cocoons? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of?
Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative.
A curative? For what?
Apparently it is most efficacious at treating a disease thought incurable. It is the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Borginia.
Whatever for? If it's such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world?
Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet, if you change the process only slightly, You can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact.
What?
There was an incident several years ago where some of these got out into the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware.
Intriguing.
All this has led to a strict ban on the Cocoon's export, one rigidly enforced by Intermol. Intermol? Yeah, the Intermols, among others.
Interpol.
He's correcting him. Right! The victim, Romain Latouze, was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescend, you insist on referring to him as a manager, but that is misleading. Romain Latouze wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm saying that could well be a motive for murder. Oh, so I was going to sell it on the black market, make myself a pretty penny? Ridiculous. I mean, totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why?
Perhaps it is time for another testimony about this smuggling of Cocoon's business.
Interesting how we skip straight on to another one. International Affairs got a memo about these Cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market. Too dangerous. Yeah, Cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in International Affairs. I know the deal. Okay.
Indeed. Interpol wanted these Cocoons bad enough to send Mr. Latouze undercover.
You kids think of the craziest things. No way am I going to risk life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty Cocoon money.
Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted.
According to reports, these Cocoons top Interpol's list. Selling them to an underground organization would be risky.
Very well. You may begin the cross-examination.
This is the only motive I've got. He was up to something, and I'm going to find out what. Time to stop pressing them. Motive was easy enough. International Affairs got a memo about these Cocoons, did they now? Tell me more. A memo. That's how you knew about the Cocoons. Oh, nice one, nice one. I'm running scared now. You had to know about the Cocoons to plan this.
Just how well known are these Cocoons? I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'd never heard of them.
Well, Lamara knew about them, though not their use. My reports indicate there are ongoing efforts to control information about the Cocoons. Most people only know they're illegal to export, that's all.
Well then, I've nothing to be embarrassed about after all.
You can say people like me who know about them are a minority, yeah. But that includes everyone in International Affairs, man. And everyone in Interpol too, for that matter. Yeah. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. So there are other Interpol agents like Mr. Latouze? All over the world, likely. Deep undercover, most of them. That's why these Cocoons are too hot for the black market. You don't want Interpol sniffing through your wares. Most came to the conclusion that they're just not worth it. Can't sell on the black market? Too dangerous. Dangerous? Yeah, Interpol finds you, they arrest you on the spot. Or another marketeer might think you're part of a sting and take you out himself. Times have changed. Yeah, Cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. But wouldn't scarcity drive up prices? Yeah, and attention. Every gangster and his brother would want a piece of that action. They'd turn your forehead into Swiss cheese before you could say, objection! Maybe we could get them to cut his hair too. Who's on trial here again? Man, you obviously know nothing about the market. And that's a bad thing? Don't even try to mess with me about this stuff. Man, I'm in International Affairs, I know the deal. Which is why you'd know how to find a loophole in the system. Hey, you can say what you want about me, but back off of International Affairs. There ain't no loopholes, okay? What do you think we are, Boy Scouts? That wasn't what I was trying to... Down to Daryan. It's as you say. There are no loopholes, at least in the case of these Cocoons. International Affairs, Interpol and Bulgarian Customs are all watching. See, we know what we're doing. Not like some yipping little doggies that lap up every word that diva says. Why I order? Order what? You want some of this? Chill, both of you. Let's do this cool, yeah? Ah, screw cool. I want this guy's head on a stick. The replica has to be the key to his motive. There's got to be a way to find out what he was up to. Well, we start the testimony again. in another episode, because you know what time it is. However, because he's wavering around these points here, about not being able to sell them on the black market, and it's not lucrative, maybe that's not what he's doing. After all, something been going on during this case. Something's been going on during this case. Linked to the police department. A Chief Justice. With a son about to die. Could it be beneficial that didn't go quite right? Still against the law all the same? We'll find out next time. Wherever I've got to present. On Apollo Justice. Ace Attorney. Bye-bye.